Right on. So this is the podcast for the 2024, 24 and 25 series, India versus Australia. And yeah,
Well, I
Australia
think it's
won the series.
2025 now.
Yeah, Australia won the series 3-1. They should have won it 4-1 if the test in Brisbane would have not been interrupted by rain. What do you think, Anmol?
Well, first of all, what was your experience of the Melbourne test, going there, being there with your son? Did you enjoy that?
Yeah, of course I did. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah, really enjoyed
And
it.
seeing one of India's heroes, Nitish Kumar, already getting an excellent 100, that was an experience as well.
No, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that at all. I don't know where he became a hero. He's played one or two test matches. That's the problem with the Indian cricket
I
team.
think we'll be hearing the initials NKR a lot more
Oh,
if
okay.
he keeps
Yeah,
playing
well,
like that.
we will. But I think India has got this habit, um, you know, of making one or two uh, test wonders. All of a sudden, they become heroes. Yeah, he's played very well. He played very well in Melbourne. And I was very happy to see him play well and enjoy the batting. But he's got a long way to go. Long way to go.
So basically, in the fourth test in Melbourne, India were 3 wickets down at tea on the final day.
Yes, correct.
Most likely could have drawn that game, and then Rishabh Pant plays a very expensive shot, gets out, and they lose about 7 for 34. What did you make of that?
I thought this was disgraceful. That's the sign of a team that has got no direction. They have no idea as to whether they want to play to win, they want to play to draw, or they just want to play. They're all, yeah, I just thought overall that the Indian cricket team that came here and lost the series so comprehensively were just here to have a good time in their personal lives and nothing on the cricket field. And yes, and the behavior of some of them, Virat Kohli, disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful. But you can have a bit of a say of that about
Well,
that as well.
what do you make of the young kid though? The one he came in at the MCG, first test at the MCG, hit 60 odd in the first innings. He's going off at Bumrah. He's going off at some of the Indian players. Well, he's sort of, he's in the fight. Do you think he needs to settle down a bit,
You're
or do
talking
you?
about Sam
I'm
Constance.
talking about Sam
Yeah, I
Constance.
think he did very well. Yeah, no, did very well. Overall, he got under the skin of the Indian players. Um, Told them that if they're not very mature, then he can be, he got to their level and got away with it and actually did better than them.
Perhaps needs to work on his defensive technique a bit more, though. I would say,
I'm
like
sure. I'm
he's,
sure.
he played some wild shots. That shot that he played in Sydney,
Yeah,
that last one, that looked like a
that's good.
back foot
No,
slog.
I totally agree with all of that. He did not have to play a few shots, but at least he got a few runs. And that innings in the last test at Sydney when he got off, I think he got 22 or something. He, yeah, he set up this. There was no way they were going to lose after that.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to lose after that. It's true.
Yeah.
Um,
I wish some of the Indian openers or some of the Indian early order batting order would have done a bit, something similar.
yeah, would have combined a bit more. That's
Correct.
Yeah. So you were a bit disappointed with the batting. You'd say overall from the Indian batting, or would you say how about the bowling as well?
There was
Obviously,
only
Jasprit
one.
Bumrah had
Yeah.
to carry so much of the load. Siraj bowled well at times, but Jasprit Bumrah had to carry so much of the load in Melbourne, and then he got injured a bit in Sydney. And Prasidh Krishna took a few wickets, but it was always going to be hard without Bumrah there, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah. You cannot have Bumrah bowling from both ends. And that's what India needed. They needed a Bumrah from the other end as well.
So the Melbourne Test, Australia won that in the end by about 100 odd runs.
Yes.
And then the final test in Sydney, that was over in about 2.5 days, and Australia won by 6 wickets after India set them 162 to win.
Yeah.
Where do you think it went wrong for India? Do you think as soon as Bumrah got injured, that was pretty much the end of the game for India, or was it more
You
than
mean
that?
in that particular test?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sydney
that particular test, as soon as Bumrah was injured, India was Gonski. But overall, I think India was Gonski as soon as they landed to play the series. Or maybe even before that. They've got the wrong coaching staff, they've got the wrong coach, they've got a player who captained as a fill-in, came in after his son was born or his child was born, didn't.
Do you think he'll play another Test match for India, Rohit Sharma?
Oh, he probably will. Yeah. I mean, India is a political cricket team. Yes, he will play another Test match, as long as he sucks up to the coach, who is a member of the BJP. Now, that might not be the appropriate thing to say on a podcast,
He,
but Indian cricket's roots are festered in politics.
now, as for Virat Kohli, do you think he'll probably retire within the next couple of years in Test cricket? He seems to be
Next
in a bit of a
couple of
downfall.
years, yeah, he should
Test cricket.
retire before. He's got no cricket left in him. He's a Test cricketer, hopeless.
Did score. He came on that 2014-15 tour, got about 4 centuries in that tour. That was probably his best Australian tour.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, but he does not know his time's up. He came here to see the fireworks at Sydney Harbour Bridge,
Steve
like a lot of his teammates.
Steve Smith, were you impressed with him?
Yeah,
In Melbourne, got that 140 in
It's
Melbourne.
ironic that he just needs one more run to get his 10,000. But yes, I just think that India were just not up to it, and Australia gave them a lesson, which is called a reality check. So how about you take your mum's opinion as well, because she was engrossed in this series as well, and I will take a
Well,
break from
okay.
this podcast.
No, if she wanted to say any of her thoughts without me putting the camera at her. Mom, without putting the camera at you, did you want to say anything?
Nah, do you want to say anything, Anju?
I won't put the camera on you.
Why?
It was a great match, great contest,
Yeah.
and the best team won.
The best
Alright.
team, the better team won, you mean?
Yeah, the better team won.
Yeah. So 3-1, Australia win that series. They make it through to the World Test Championship final against South Africa,
Yeah,
which will be later this year in England.
yeah, it should be a good.
That'll be very good. South Africa is the top of the table. They're the best team in the world.
What did you think?
Best
What
team-
do you think? What was your
best team in the world
overall
right now.
impression of the series?
Thought Australia got hammered in Perth, and I think they did better in the next 4 Test matches. I think they dominated the 4 out of the last 5 Tests.
Yeah.
So they should be very proud of themselves, very happy with how they went. It's a great comeback. I was worried after Perth,
Yeah.
that drubbing, but they
Nah,
came back.
yeah.
They won by 10 wickets in Adelaide. They were probably the better team in Brisbane, but just the rain got in the way. They won in Melbourne in a great 5-day thriller, and they won pretty easily in the end in Sydney. And now they have to go to Sri Lanka, which will be a pretty mighty test, but we'll see how they go. Any final thoughts, guys?
No, it should be an interesting year of cricket, 2025.
Yeah, World Test Championship final.
World Test Championship final, Australia will beat South Africa.
Yeah, they're hard team to beat. We'll see how they go. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Ciao.